Hey, Jake with B&H. I'm at NAB 2019, day one here on the show floor. I'm at Sharp. I'm talking with Cliff, and they have a pretty exciting new mirrorless camera that can shoot 8K. Cliff, what can you tell me about this?
Yeah, this is absolutely an exciting new product from Sharp. It's an 8K compact camera, as you can see.
Yeah.
And as you also mentioned, it's mirrorless, which allows us to keep this nice form factor. We're using a micro 4/3 lens mount.
Okay.
Also, it's a full 4/3 CMOS sensor.
Okay.
All right. 16 by 9. It has this wonderful articulating 5.5-inch touch LCD display.
That looks like my cell phone.
It does.
How big it is.
Well,
Wow.
Sharp is one of the leading manufacturers in LCD technology, so we do like to leverage that.
That makes sense. And so what can it do inside? 8K at what frame rate?
This will do up to 30 frames per second in 8K. I could do up to 60 frames at 4K in HD.
Talk to me about, I think we want to go behind here and talk about, actually see what it can do, because 8K sounds a bit overwhelming, especially for a mirrorless camera, but you've really built in a solution for your workflow, is that right?
That's right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back there and we'll shoot with it, and then we'll see the process.
And 3.
And we're live. Back with Cliff in their pretty sweet studio setup.
Our 8K studio.
8K studio, excuse me. Absolutely beautiful. All right, I got my hands on the, you have a name for this yet? It's just 8K mirrorless.
We're calling that the B30. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's its nickname.
Great. And then talk to me about the design. It looks pretty simple and clean.
It is. It's designed to be easy to use. I mean, it's a breakthrough category, right? So it's an 8K product that's accessible. So starting with the price point, right? So this is going to be under $4,000.
Really?
Yeah. And we're hoping to get it out later this year. And you can see you're playing around there with the 5.5-inch full HD display. That's a touch display, so you can touch the focus and set a lot of your basic operations right there.
ISO, aperture, shutter speed. Okay, great, awesome. And in terms of outputs, we got HDMI.
Yep. It's going to be a full-size HDMI on the final product.
Okay, right now it looks like a mini. It's
Yep.
full.
Yep. And it also has a mini XLR on that bottom slot.
Yeah, so that's for your audio, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And you can also see on there's a USB Type-C.
Yes.
So that'll make for some nice offline storage.
Do you have any kind of output plans for code? Like what's it going to output?
Codecs? Yeah, H.265 for 8K. That's what we definitely have right now, and then we'll add some other codecs later that you could probably guess.
So I guess now since we've shot with 8K, we're going to go into the editing suite and see how easy it is to work with the ProRes footage.
Yep.
Right? Okay, cool. Awesome. Great. Let's go over there. Okay, so we just shot 8K footage in the studio, the 8K studio. Now we're in the 8K video editing with Patrick, hooking it up for us. And there we are. Look at our pretty faces. So talk to me about the workflow with 8K.
Sure.
With Sharp.
Yeah, it's not that unique. For the most part, depending on the type of camera that you have, we need to transfer the files over to your editing application. In this case, Adobe Premiere. On our B60 product, we're fortunate enough where it will produce 8K footage as well as a proxy file at the same time. The purpose of the proxy file is a low-res version of that same footage you have in 8K, but the proxy is in HD or lower, so it's easy to manage and manipulate. You do your editing on the proxy, and then you link it back to the 8K footage for your final rendering. In the case of the B30 camera, a lower price point product only produces 8K. We still bring that in, but Adobe Premieres will produce a proxy file for you. You go through that process, you produce your proxy file, and you're back in the same place. Work with the low-res proxy file.
Yeah, I think that's really important because I think like a lot of vloggers out there who may use the mirrorless B30, camera may be intimidated by the 8K workflow, but it sounds like if you understand proxies, you can totally use this camera, right?
Yeah.
What are the benefits of 8K?
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so if you shoot in 8K and you know that your audience is obviously not viewing in 8K, it's probably 4K.
Maybe a couple years away from viewing that, right?
Yep, hopefully closer, Sharp if you like, and sell you a nice 8K display.
Wow. Okay.
But that's for another discussion. discussion. But if you're shooting like you're on your own, right? And you have to worry about framing and how you position and not losing something, or you're running and gunning and you're shooting some live action and there's movement, you could shoot with a wider view in HK and then crop in. If you crop in to a 4K resolution file, that's 1/4 of your screen. And even with just going to 4K, I could do a static shot like we did in the studio, right? And I could do a virtual multi-camera shoot, right? A close-up on Jake, move over to Cliff, a beauty shot of the product with just one camera shooting in 8K. So now it looks like I have a multi-camera environment where really it's just me shooting on my own with a single 8K camera.
Yeah, 8K, the possibilities are really kind of endless creatively. That ability to crop, even if like you export in HD, even more framing opportunities.
1/16.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, and you still have a high-res file that you can play with.
Okay, great. Well, it's exciting stuff, Cliff. I really appreciate that. This is, we think, end of the year.
Oh yeah, before the end of the year we'll have the product out.
Beautiful. Jake with B&H, just keep shooting.